you today? Say hi, Adam.
Hi.
We got a lot to talk about. Me and Adam are going to do a quick recap of the part 2 of the season reunion for Beverly Hills. Then we're going to talk about the big news that everyone else is talking about, Denise not returning. Then we're going to talk about Garcelle possibly not returning, and then replacement housewives. And then we're going to go a little bit into detail about Teddi. Since Andy Cohen won't do it, we'll have to do it for him. What did you think about last night's episode?
I hate to be super hypercritical, and I usually am the positive guy.
Yeah.
But in this occasion, like, it took a lot for me to get through last night's episode. It was boring. It was a snooze fest.
It was terrible. I mean, it was, what's a word that means worse than boring? It was
Lisa Rinna. No, I'm just kidding.
It was terrible. Do we have to blame Denise Richards for that?
Well, it's definitely, yes, of course. Yeah, because had she have not sent the cease and desist, that wouldn't have happened. And I like, it was funny because last night Denise said to Andy, she's like, why are you ganging up on me too, or coming at me too? I don't know what she said verbatim, but whatever she said. And he said, I'm being fair. And I do think he was fair because we know the reason that Brandi wasn't there was because of Denise. It wasn't, in fact, because Andy and Bravo made the mutual decision after Brandi said, I licked her, whatever, to not have her on, because Brandi said way worse things than that before.
Yeah. I mean, would you prefer to watch everyone gang up on Denise than to go to sleep?
No, I mean, listen, you never want to encourage like somebody just getting ganged up on, right? Or bullied. But the fact is, no, I wish we could have watched an episode where Denise would have answered for the allegations and the other women would have butted out and let them have a conversation that Andy could have mediated. Maybe he could have even dropped them out of the Zoom, and let them have a one-on-one with just him. That would have been fair, but not with everyone in the room. No.
Well, who do you think the one-on-one should have been with?
It should have just been Brandi and Denise with Andy sitting there asking the hard questions and then them both having to kind of answer it.
Well, that might have been interesting. Yeah, that would have been interesting. But I don't like the 5-on-1 gang up, however many it is on one person. And I really felt that was going to happen. So I'm glad that Denise served them with the cease and desist.
Yeah, it was the only thing she could do.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, so what did we learn new last night? Rinna was still jumping all over Denise. Oh, this is what we learned new last night. Kyle finally said that Teddi's a better friend to her than the other women. Does she consider her being a better friend because she's like poser?
Listen, if that was the highlight of our reunion,
that was the highlight.
We need a cash shakeup. Because between that and Kyle's new teeth, that's all we got from this reunion. I mean, honestly, all of the comments that I saw about the reunion was most people wanted to pull Lisa Rinna through the TV because she was so aggressive.
She was mad because Denise took away her storyline. Let's just be real here. Can we be real, people? She was mad that she couldn't they couldn't gang up on Denise like she had planned. And so that left room to talk about her storyline, which is her daughter's eating disorder. She claimed that her daughter doesn't blame her for it, but I think she has a huge part in her eating disorder. What do you think?
We're walking a fine line here.
It is.
I don't necessarily, I feel like, listen, her kid is an adult now. Amelia's an adult. So I feel like, like Teddi said, I don't blame my parents for the reason I was the way I am. So maybe Amelia should take responsibility for the way that she acts, just like I think we all should. Could it not help? Maybe that's the most polite way I can say that. Yes. I feel like this makes me so uncomfortable. No, I don't want to bash her, but you know what I think.
I feel that whole storyline needed to be looked into a little bit more. We need to see Harry. We should have talked to Delilah. I just think that Lisa Rinna only shows what she wants to show. And that's what makes me not like her. I don't like her at all.
So what does she have, though, that's keeping everyone from really dishing on what they know about her, though? That's kind of the biggest key here, too, because even last night when Denise said, you know, in the preview, she's like, do you want me to show the texts from you, too? Because I can show those texts, too. And why would Lisa Rinna say, are you threatening me? Like, why would that be a threat? What's in those text messages? And what does Denise know that
Denise cannot stand up for herself hard enough the way I would have stood up for myself. When you come after me, all bets are off, okay? I tell everything I know bad about you because they really tried to make her look bad. And so she fought the only way she could with the cease and desist. But you know, we're going to dig a little more into that when I bring up Andrew and Perry. Was there anything else we wanted to talk about that reunion that stood out for you? Because it really was boring to me. The only thing that stood out to me is that Kyle finally said she doesn't really like the rest of the girls as much as she does Teddi. And you know what else stood out for me is the fact that Dorit and Kyle, something's going on there. That's not a strong friendship anymore. What do you think?
Well, I have three things that I just want to address when we bring everybody up.
Okay.
One is the fact that Camille pointed out that none of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, in fact, live in Beverly Hills anymore. Two, Camille is now putting her house back on the market. So, or not Camille, Dorit. Dorit's putting her house back on the market. So I'm curious if that's another financial issue storyline.
Did you see my video about that?
No. I went to the dog park. But I want to know, and I'll definitely go back and watch, and I want to talk about it today too if we have time. But also Erika, I felt like she was trying so hard with that. Then I'm mother effing out of here, and it's like, what are you doing?
Erika,
this is not Chicago.
She is just no remnants of the old Erika that we used to know. I mean, it's getting sad and bad. I mean, let's bring up the other guys so we can talk about stuff outside. Is there anything else you want to talk about for the reunion?
No, I was just going to say, it's almost like Erika is like the Beverly Hills Luann, you know? I'm sick of the Erika Jane and I'm sick of the Cabaret. I'm sick of both, so that's it.
They're horrible. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Perry.
Hey, what's up?
So what did you guys think about last night before we get into other stories? The reunion.
And
boring.
Fast. Smooth.
It was terrible, wasn't it? Perry, did you like it?
No, I mean, this is what I think. I think the thing was a total disaster, okay?
Yeah.
But for many reasons, okay? I understand why Denise could have thought the best thing was to get the cease and desist. But at the same time, that was the cowardly move to make. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because at the same time, the whole season, that's what it was about. You and her affair, whether it happened or not. And really, the more she hide, make me think.
Perry, does anybody ask you about your sex life? Should anybody be forced to talk about their sex life, Perry?
Well, no. You only forced about it when it's out in public and somebody accusing you of it.
Well, when you're getting paid $4 million for it, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying, like, on the show and like the cease and desist, it didn't stop the rumors. So Brandy wasn't there. So now, even if you would have gave a good story why it didn't happen, who's gonna believe you when the other person, you get to expose the other person, okay?
Well, I'm a little confused. You're saying that Denise should have really went after Brandy harder? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No, I'm saying, but see, the thing is, let Brandy come on the show because you know what? You get to hear both sides of it instead of one over here, one over here.
Mm-hmm.
Face your accuser. At certain points, if I'm right, I got to face my accuser and battle it out.
I mean, Andrew, what do you think of that? Should Denise had let Brandy on the show?
Yes, you know what? I do have to agree with that because let's just stop with us going behind people's backs. Let's stop just beating around the bush and let's just get this over with so we can move on to next season's fake storyline. Like,
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I really agree with that. And I think because really it didn't stop anything. Andy kept asking her about it. And then that just gave Lisa Rinna time to pop off.
Yeah.
Are you lying? Or, you know what I'm saying? You know what? And then Denise is too weak for Perry. Because when she come like that, I don't care if me and Brandy slept together multiple times and I'm hiding it. But Lisa, you ain't gonna talk to me that way when I supposed to have these text messages. You know what? See, that's a punk move. I got these. Do you want me to use them? No, you know what? When you come at me, you ain't gonna ask me a damn thing because I'm spreading the word. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Out there, and I'm on her ass. I'm talking about Teddi and everybody else's husband, and maybe Mama if I had.
Adam, what do you think? Do you think if Denise was stronger and came at the girls a little bit harder, that they would have backed up?
Well, unfortunately, this is why she reads guilty of having some sort of relationship, is because she does have this like timid way about her. And you can totally tell, especially from her first season on, she's not a timid person. So she does kind of back down a little bit where she should be gunning for Lisa Rinna. She doesn't do that. And I think she doesn't do that because she's worried about the cover up. And like Lisa Rinna said last night, right now, the cover up is actually worse than the crime, because if she hooked up with Brandy, who cares? It's the fact that they're just waiting for her to admit it.
Well, what about the point that I'll tell what I want to tell? You don't force me into anything. I say what I want about my life, and no one's coming after you about your life, Lisa Rinna. What about that?
But I think, though, what they think is that, okay, so it's almost like, all right, ladies, this is how we start off the season. Like, all of the ladies throw storylines into the middle of the pot, and whoever's is biggest, it's like, okay, sorry, Denise, you're carrying this season on your back. And that she has to follow this through, especially to get the ratings that the other ladies need to have the season come back next year. And I think because she didn't give in and she wasn't giving storylines, she wasn't talking about it, she was breaking the fourth wall, bravo, 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 and she was serving cease and desist. That ruins it.
Not one person had asked the question, Erika, do you still have sex with your 80-year-old husband? If
Sure.
we were
Garcelle kind of did.
80, can you get it up at 80? I mean, no one's asking that question.
No. I mean, you know what?
Look at Andrews.
It's not all about somebody asking a question. It's when somebody come out and accuse you of something. So, like, you don't have to say nothing. I can take you accusing me and just bow my head and walk away. But you get to worry about what people are going to think if you don't. Because sometimes when you don't respond to something, it shows guilt.
Yeah.
She couldn't even go to, I think, Dorit's party at that little one thing because Brandy might show up.
Yeah.
If a person did something to me, I want to find the venue where they're at so I can go and meet them and we can discuss this thing. But
Yeah.
to hide. And just like Adam said, if she would come out and just say, you know what, ladies? Yeah, we had a one-night stand and it was good. But let's talk about your husband. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the way it should have went. Because like Adam said, once you own up to it, it's a dead story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if you wonder what it was like, you go and sleep with her and you find out. But we're going to talk about your husband, your mama.
The mama.
No, I'm just saying. And that's the way you get to attack it. And that's why I think this show need a recasting. It really do, because it's terrible.
Well, look, you might get your wish. So let's talk about what we want to talk about. And that's the news all over the media that Denise Richards is quitting the show. Okay, so if you seen my video earlier, the rumor is that Denise quit the show because they're bringing back Brandy Glanville full time. Brandy has admitted to reaching out to Heather Locklear, okay, trying to get her to come on the show. Also invited her to do Watch What Happens Live. According to the rumors, Andy Cohen's behind all of it because he's upset because she served him with a cease and desist. If I stick to what Perry's saying, she's even running for next season. I feel like, why show up for next season when you're already getting set up to be the fall guy? Andrew, what do you think about Denise Richards quitting? Did she cop out?
I think well, yes and no. Honestly, like Perry said, the entire show needs an entire recasting. I'm sorry. When it gets to that 10 season mark, they just need to filter in a brand new cast. Because, I'm sorry, we've got stale storylines and stale people. What are we going to do? Are we really just going to talk about how if Denise or did not have sex next season? Like,
yeah.
What? Just no matter who you add in.
It's
So you're saying not only Denise should go, the whole cast.
Yeah, let's just recast. Who could we put in there? Let's think here.
you need to take one from Jersey, one from New York, and one from Atlanta, and stick them in Beverly Hills.
We should do an
Like,
all-star.
give me an example where you're talking about, Adam.
I don't know, like put a little bit of a Kenya Moore in there, Teresa Giudice, and a Dorinda Medley in Beverly Hills. Could you imagine?
One thing
That's a nice
since
medley.
Nene going through her drama, won't they stick her in there? I bet you Lisa Rinna won't be doing that shit then. That's all I'm saying. Like that is a shakeup.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
Somebody
We
really
should
though,
make-
honestly, they need somebody to come in who's not afraid. Like, for example, what I mean is somebody like Kenya Moore on Real Housewives of Atlanta. When she brought the cookie lady, she does not care if she hurts your feelings. She knows this is a job, just like Lisa Rinna doesn't care. So you need Lisa Rinna to have another villain, Lisa Rinna, who doesn't like her. That's what we need.
We should
So
get Nicolette.
nobody. Go ahead, Andrew.
Nicolette
Go ahead.
Sheridan. Nicolette Sheridan.
Oh, God. Why does everyone keep bringing up her name?
Yeah, but I don't think
Because
she
she
said that she doesn't get vicious enough for it.
I know, but she was married to both Aaron and Harry. I'm sorry. Like, we could really
Are you
find out
serious?
how big. Yeah, yes, I'm serious. She was married to both. We could really find out how big Aaron's thing really is. We could find out if she was lying.
Okay.
Bring her on for one episode. Stir the pot.
She was married to both? Oh, my
Yes.
gosh. I mean, did Aaron have a job before? Do you think Aaron pays the bills?
Yes.
You
And
think
wait,
Aaron
can
pays the bills?
we make Caitlyn Jenner a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills? Could you imagine her coming in there?
So the rumor is Kris Jenner is supposed to be being considered for being on the show. I am over Kristen. That's her real name. I'm over Kristen. I don't want to see Kris anymore. We've seen her for 20 years. 20 seasons. That's enough. Adam, you're ready to see Kris Jenner, and Kris comes as a package deal. Kanye's going to show up to the house. Kim's going to show up. I'm over the Kardashians.
We don't
You
need that.
can't call her Kristen.
Why?
That's like not calling a doctor not doctor.
Her name is Kristen. I'm tired of Kristen.
That's
Okay.
anxiety. That's like saying not saying Mr. President.
Why does she even call herself Chris? Doesn't Kristen sound better?
No, Chris is like cool. She's like, I'm Chris. What's up?
No.
But you know why this actually wouldn't work though? It could work for Beverly Hills, but just like when Chris had her talk show, it was just like Keeping Up with the Kardashians because it was all about her family. So if she just makes it all about her family, it's probably not going to work.
It's going to be Corey again. There's going to be Kanye and Chris and all the.
Yep. Kanye gonna show up preaching again.
And I don't think Kris Jenner would get messy. I think she would just shut them down. Like she'd be like, she's like, my daughter is making $1 billion and I get 10% of it.
On the show. Go ahead, Andrew. What were you going to say?
Do you really want to hear their whiny voices and they're all going to sound like, oh, what's up, you guys?
Courtney all over again. Chloe.
Yes, Andrew.
No.
Yes,
You want to watch that?
I'm devastated by this. You guys are no. You can't call her Kristen. And yes,
Adam,
hear the
get her over the Kardashians. They need to just go on a hiatus, maybe a year or two. But I need
Perry
a break.
can appreciate a beautiful woman, Sherelle. Maybe he wants to watch them.
Who?
Perry?
Yeah, well,
You want to watch the Kardashians, Perry? Again on the Beverly Hills.
I've seen enough of her, and I realize she'll never be mine, so she can be gone.
I know.
So real. But Adam, since you love him so much, maybe I'll buy you a life-size poster of the family.
This is disgusting. So just before we were come on air, Garcelle came back out and said she's not sure if she's returning. Garcelle and Denise were the best thing to happen to that show. If they do not return and the other women do, I'm not watching. There, I said.
Garcelle could have been. I'm not even sure if Denise was the best thing. Only reason I started liking her when LVP left and everybody jumped on her, so I felt bad for her. But when I see a coward, let me keep it real. She's very timid. And
you think Denise Richards is a coward?
Well, no, let me be a better word, because sometimes people say Perry got harsh words. Very timid. And I would say she's timid, And maybe she did the network a favor by leaving on her own.
Oh my God, Gary!
Because really, if I was the boss, I probably would have fired you on the spot.
What?
Just keeping it real.
Now, listen, you say you felt bad for LVP that year when everyone jumped on her. If she wouldn't have served those cease and desist, that would have been a repeat of what happened. They would have annihilated her. And I don't feel like anybody should be forced to talk about anything they don't want to talk about when you have people like Lisa Rinna picking and choosing what she wants to talk about.
Oh, well, no. It was different with LVP. She
spoke her mind
throughout the season. She spoke her mind throughout the season. It wasn't the same thing. She just did. I mean, they kept the puppy gate and all that crazy stuff, but she spoke her mind, right? And left out. Denise is just like, oh, I'm busted. I can't come clean. They gonna keep riding me. I got to go run and hide.
You might have LVP favoritism going on.
Well, maybe, but I mean, right now we talking about Denise. We'll argue some other day, and maybe it's a good thing she's gone. And if I was Garcelle, hell, I'd probably leave too. If I go and stick my neck out for this person all season, and that person just hightail it out of there.
Oh gosh,
that's what happens.
Listen, I'm getting ready to open up the phone lines, but before I do, I want to talk about Teddi. I wish I had my pearls on, Andrew. When are they going to fire Teddi? Do you guys notice that we don't know anything personal about Teddi? Can you tell me where? Like, what do we know besides the sensitive things about her child being sick? Set that aside. Anything else? What do you know about Teddi?
We know that she has a mom and a dad and some kids. She's
Have
married.
They ever on the show?
She. Okay, so we know that she's the daughter of a celebrity. We know that she's not
problem that Teddi had to face on the show. One problem, and then I'll back up.
Well, her problems always come from the other housewives. Like she had a little bit of that beef
in her personal life. She's what you call a storyline writer. She rides off of other people's storylines.
The only thing I know about Teddi is time for her to go. That's what I know.
You know what we
went to the table, and really, for the most part, Kyle too. I'm saying, really, if I was gonna keep any one of them, I mean, after Denise don't hightail it out and show me she didn't have any courage. If I was gonna build a cast around anybody, Lisa Rinna, at least I can say she gonna start some trash. So maybe she can stay, and you put 5 more people with her or whatever.
Oh wow! Did you just say Lisa Rinna could stay? Oh. He said
Lisa Rinna. I don't like her, but what I'm saying is, she's about the only one putting up a fight. Everybody else just running around, following the leader.
That's why we need like a new Leah, Sherelle. We need like a, you know how Leah came to New York and she just stirred everything up? That's what we need.
Yeah. Andrew, do you know anything about Teddi's husband? What is his name? I don't even know his name.
His name is Edwin, and I'm not going to even pronounce his last name. I took French and Latin. No Spanish here. So we're going to go with do you guys remember The Wolf of Wall Street? The movie.
Everybody knows that. You seen the movie Wall Street?
Oh, the movie.
Yeah, with
Leo.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, with Leo. Yeah.
Oh, we call him Leo around here. Sorry, I guess we're a little more familiar. Kristen. Go ahead.
So, a mess. Go ahead.
He plays a man called Jordan Belfort in the movie, who's like this awful man. That actually is a real person, and he did a collaboration on his podcast with Edwin, and he calls Edwin a man who I think we're all going to really admire and values what they have. A man who scammed I don't know how much money out of Americans. Let me see. Hey Siri. How much money did Jordan Belfort illegally make?
So are you trying to allegedly allude to the fact that you think that he could be fraudulent with his finances?
Well, he's saying that. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. If you're good friends with a convicted criminal, what does that say about you? I'm sorry.
What do you mean? One of my best friends got in trouble, caught a charge for picking up something off of Walmart. So listen, it's not, that doesn't make you a criminal. I'm not a criminal.
No, I'm talking about crimes in the millions of dollars. I'm not talking, things like that. No shade to anybody who's done that, but I'm talking real money. And
You're like a Bernie Madoff type guy.
yes, I'm talking with like we've got the cash underneath the floor of a private jet illegally bringing it into Switzerland.
Listen, let me tell you what I've heard about Irwin. I heard that his security systems company sucks and that he gets bad reviews on it. And look at proof, after he did Kyle's house, she got broken into anyway. That's what I heard. It's true, right? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and have you ever heard the saying, Adam, you are who you hang around?
That's why I don't like nobody.
All right, let's start taking calls, guys. I mean, hi, Andrea. How are you?
What's up, Dre?
Hey, y'all got me.
What did you want to talk about?
Well, the reason why they're not going to get rid of Teddi because Teddi is Kyle, a lapdog. And she needs Teddi, to do what she say, to build her up, to make her look good, to fuss over her. So that's Cal's Cal lapdog. She's not going anywhere.
Well, you know what? In my opinion, both of them are useless. Kyle,
they are.
So both of them need to be gone as a pair.
They need a stronger woman. I think they need a stronger woman to put all those old hags in their place.
You know what, I'm telling you, the perfect person. Once Nene took the abuse in Atlanta, if you put her there, it's gonna fire up that light bulb.
Yeah, but Bravo never sends another person to a different franchise.
Well, I get it, but sometimes you get that. But at this point, that franchise is going under so bad that you might have to experiment.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going under for the rest of us. Andy Cohen is loving every minute of it. He's the one that is casting and doing all this plotting and scheming and putting these people on. He loves it. That's his baby. Go ahead.
You
Adam.
know what? And Andy is so shady. He is so shady. He's real shady. So everything that Nene was saying about him, is it true? Is it really true?
Adam, we're.
I would just like to say, in the most polite and professional way that I can, he's also the guy who came up with, a lot of this and a lot of these concepts, and who had a hand in the beginning in a lot of the casting. So yeah, of course he has that kind of mentality and personality to manipulate these situations and put on a good show. That's why Bravo's successful. That's all I want to say. So is he messy?
Yeah.
He's also destroying his own franchise. He's destroying it. Beverly Hills has gone down the tubes. It's not what it used to be.
But that's because we're missing I honestly, I feel like my fiance and I, we talk about this all the time, and I think it really is because, Beverly Hills had really one key ingredient, one OG that just was always there, and things were happening, and people like to blame that person, and we didn't know if it was her, was it not? But it kept a mystery, and it kept it really fun.
Gone now, and so look what we're left with.
And I don't think that's
since she left Adam, the show have went down.
I agree, but I don't think that's on Andy, though. I don't think it's Andy like sabotaging Beverly Hills or anything. I think that's just the show sucks right now.
Yeah, it's almost like I think he had a good cast at first when they was younger. It's like having a boxer when they're young and in their prime. As they get older, the product just go down. He needs to just get rid of all of them and start back over. That's my opinion.
Well, do you think that's what they're doing? So do you think, a question for you, do you think they're trying to kind of pre-plan that with Real Housewives of New York right now? And that's why they brought in Leah, and they're starting to transition out Dorinda and possibly bring out a new younger one. They're trying to call it for the other franchises before it happens because they're seeing it happen at Beverly Hills.
Yeah. This is another thing too. This is what I'm thinking too. You know how they just started this new one coming out? Is it Utah?
Utah.
Oh, right.
Salt Lake City, yeah.
I'm so excited.
Okay, Salt Lake City, right? What if this is like a thing? We're going to throw this out there. If that thing catch on fire within that first year, guess what? I think at that point they can say we can start with a fresh cast and still make it without putting everything on the line, because I guess you got a point, Adam. If he took all the cast out and it didn't work, then you feel like you destroyed something that was maintaining itself.
Hold
But
on.
with this Salt Lake City one, it could be like a demo.
Yeah.
Let me take another call. Hi, Adam. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Sound off. What did you think of last night's episode?
I've got a lot to say. I missed last week, unfortunately. I don't know if you got my Instagram message. Yeah, I Instagrammed you. The episode. First of all, I just don't like this virtual reunion thing as a whole. It's just disappointing. I thought that this one was actually worse than last week's one. Kyle started being a dictator because she wouldn't be quiet when she had the whole thing with Dorit. And probably because she knows she's got her neck on the line because she'll be gone soon. I personally think Denise should have stayed. That's my opinion.
Oh God! Why is everybody saying that?
Because I feel like with Denise exiting, it's another reason for Kyle to get on her knees and plead Andy and all the producers to keep Teddi and her. And I really hope, although Garcelle said she was going to leave if Denise goes, and she's also joined the Real. I hope she manages to stay because, goodness forbid, there's got to be ethnic diversity on the show.
Let me stop you there for a minute. You're absolutely right about that. Andrew, do you think that Garcelle will leave now that Denise is gone? Because we were talking about this earlier before we came on. Andrew, can you hear me?
He froze.
His connection's gone, I think.
Froze. Okay. Perry, I got to drop you. Andre, I got to drop you, okay?
Yeah, you.
Let's see. Can you hear me now, Andrew? Let me try him again. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
She is. She's seen everybody's true colors now. Yes. She.
It's frozen.
Hold on, Andrew. I got to drop you. Let me see if I can. Adam, let me drop you for a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, not you,
I
Adam.
hear you. I hear you.
Oh.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sometimes when I have too many people on, I can't hear. Go ahead.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Garcelle's going to return?
No, she's seen everybody's true colors now. This is.
See, I think though what you can tell here, Sherelle, though, is Garcelle still very much so. She's not one of those housewives like Camille Grammer or someone who has like a big, massive estate. She has to work, just like Denise Richards. She has to work. So unless her pay is amazing at the Real, I know that she called out and said, if Denise goes, I go. But she also just posted plot twist.
Yeah,
and is it the fact that Denise is leaving, or is it the fact that Denise is leaving and she's like, plot twist, I'm not actually leaving, I'm here to stay, which is
I don't know. Let me bring up some more calls. Hold on. Hi, Andrew. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good. What did you think of last night's episode?
It was a snooze fest.
It was bad.
Yeah.
What do you think about Denise leaving the show?
I think that she should leave. I mean, I feel like if Brandy was a guy, he would be arrested, right? I feel like she was being harassed. I don't feel like that she should be subjected to talk about her sex life and what she does with her sex life. It's so crazy because Kyle, I don't know if y'all caught when Denise was talking, Lisa Rinna was talking about how she taught her daughters to
don't say it.
To do whatever with her book. And Kyle was like, well, I would be offended if Portia read anything like that. I'll be upset. Well, why are y'all making Denise go through this on the show if you wouldn't want that for your own daughter, right? Most of Kyle's children are over 18. Denise's children, and Lisa Rinna's children are over 18. They're already having sex. And we don't know what Denise daughters are at that age where they just may be starting to have questions about it. She shouldn't have to go through that on the show.
I agree. I agree. Sound off about last night, D. What did you have to say?
Well, did you guys watch the after show, the after reunion with Brandy?
Yes.
All right. So I don't know. I know they said Brandy is coming back next season, but now that Denise has said that she's not coming back, I don't think they're going to bring back Brandy. She didn't get that one-on-one exclusive, which surprised me last night. They had somebody else on there with her. She just plays it all wrong. And I really wish that she had a good publicist or agent. What I think she should have done, she should have held that information about Denise to the last episode. And then she would have had a reason to come back for the next season. They would have brought her back as a full-time cast member. And Denise wouldn't have known any better. And if Denise said, no, it didn't happen, they could have gotten that lie detector guy they brought on for LVP last year. And that could have been a whole storyline. But it's like Brandy always screws up her opportunities or so. I feel bad. It's like she screwed it up.
Don't feel bad. She brings it on herself. Don't feel bad.
And Andy was being messy last night. He, on the clip that they showed on BravoCon, they asked Denise, was she friendly with Brandy? And she said, yeah, we're friendly. I don't know a reason why we wouldn't be friends. And Andy was trying to make her say, you said y'all were friends. She never said that. Being friendly and being friends with someone are two totally different things.
But you know, allegedly he's pissed at Denise. You've heard that rumor, right? He's pissed. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, we got a long line. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate
no problem.
the call.
Y'all have a nice one.
Bye-bye. Last night was crazy.
It was awful.
Crazy boring.
Crazy boring. Yeah. Okay, Andrew, go ahead. What were you saying?
I mean, I just thought it was so bad.
Oh, I meant Adam. Go ahead. Go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead.
Adam, not Andrew.
Adam.
Just remember, this is the British Adam, the guy that sounds like Buckingham Palace. I think there should be some ethnic diversity in the cast, and it would be a shame if Garcelle goes, because then that will kind of ruin what she opened up for the show. And as Adam said, she has to work as well.
I don't even care if there's ethnic diversity. That sounds crazy. I just want interesting people. Like, and I thought Garcelle was interesting. I really don't want to see her go. Hi, Angela. How are you?
Good. I think you guys are awesome. I love Rich Adam, and Adam, I don't know if you remember me, but I have talked to you before.
Of course, Angela Langenil.
Yeah. I agree with Sherelle. Denise shouldn't have to face her accuser.
Thank you.
She shouldn't have to. I don't mean to offend you, Adam.
No.
She shouldn't have to. Brandy shouldn't be hired. She shouldn't have her job. Be able to go back without having Brandy there.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Okay, I have a long line. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it. Do you want to say a special bye, Adam?
Yeah. What did it? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bye, Angela. No, yeah, it's always great hearing from you, and I always see your comments and everything. So thank you. We love you too.
Thank you.
So sweet. Okay, one more. We have a huge line again, guys. Oops. Hi, Jamal. How are you?
Good. Hi, guys.
Good. Let me ask you a question before you tell me about last night's episode. Do you want diversity, or do you just want good characters?
For me, you need to start with a good cast. That's the most important thing, so the stories flow together. Like this what they came upon with Denise, Garcelle, and Rena was magical. Had they just focused on that and expanded out, this would have been a great season. But since they focused on like what drama can we bring, it was manufactured, so it sucks.
I agree. But the reason why I mentioned diversity is just that it opened a door as well, because it's got to have obviously having an authentic cast is the main thing, but having diversity adds to the picture. You know, where I live in London, where Lisa Vanderpump is originally from, obviously back then it was a different story, but now I see there's there's 5 different religions in my street. There's a bunch of different diverse.
Where do you live? Where do you live?
I live in Wimbledon, where the tennis is.
Wimbledon?
Wimbledon.
What were you going to say, Adam number 2?
Well, no, I was gonna say, just to kind of, piggyback off of this, obviously Bravo just dropped the trailer for the new Housewives of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, or Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And everyone thinks that this is such an underrated cast and underrated city. But really, if you look at it, there's already diversity into it. They come from all walks of life.
In Utah?
They all bring their own different energy. You have different religions, different cultures, I think it's going to be exciting. And that's what we need in some of these other franchises that we're really not getting. So that's why I'm excited.
Agreed. I liked the cast, but the trailer was, I don't know, it felt a bit scripted, the trailer, until the very end. No shade, but that's on them. My thing is that people in the comments kept saying they need to bring old OGs back, or people from the first 5 seasons. Obviously, Lisa Vanderpump isn't going to come through the door anytime soon. She's already got her own problem with her own show. Hope that continues, God forbid. But if they had to bring back anyone, I would say Camille, because Lisa Rinna is the only housewife on the show that actually lives in Beverly Hills. All the rest of the valley.
Then just cancel the show.
Go ahead, Adam. What were you going to say?
But if you can't call it Real House of Beverly Hills if only one housewife lives in Beverly Hills and all the rest are 20 miles.
Let me ask you a question, Andrew. Do the cast have to live in Beverly Hills? He has a point. I think they call them the Real Housewives of Encino. Do you think they need to live in They did. Go ahead, Jamal.
So in the beginning, they didn't, like, almost all of them live at Beverly Hills. I mean, like Adrian, Lisa Vanderpump. I think Kyle and them lived in Beverly Hills. And Camille. So
it is important that they live in Beverly Hills.
Okay,
hold on, Adam. I have to drop you for a minute. Hold on.
So with that, if you're using that logic, then all of Potomac except for Monique should be fired because none of them live there.
That's my point.
So
she live in the city.
I know. No, but like I said in the beginning, like at least 4 of them did live in Beverly Hills, so it made sense. Now they've all moved out to other areas.
Listen, we're reaching at this point. It's a generalization. We can't say the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Malibu, Pacific Palisades, West Hollywood. We can't do that. So it's Beverly Hills in the outer layers of Beverly Hills.
So go ahead, Andrew. This is so ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Outer layers. Go ahead, Andrew. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I want to see a woman with class. Let's get a housewife with at least a real net worth of $25 million. That would be so nice to see again. I don't care about soap opera actresses. I'm sorry. If you want to see a soap opera actress, the only one I liked was Eileen, and she's not coming back.
She's not coming back.
She's not coming back.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with Andrew though, because some of our best moments on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills before she got so crazy messy was from poor Brandy, who didn't really have all of the money and everything. So I don't know if it's necessarily, we already have that level of money inside of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Jamal, I have to drop you for a second. Don't hang up. I'll bring you back.
We need messy.
Who's rich right now on the Real Beverly Hills? Like really rich?
Erika. Teddi has money.
Teddi she should be expecting money from, inheritance.
No one's really rich, but probably Kyle. And then Mauricio's business practices are questionable. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like
nobody.
Nobody has the Adrian Malouf LVP money.
No one has LVP money. None of that. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hey, sure. I love the lives. I don't think the problem on the show is diversity, though. The problem is that it's not real anymore. Like the first couple seasons on all of the franchises, it's like they were actual friends. Like Lisa lived across from Adrian, and then Camille and Taylor and Kim. Now it's like you're bringing in strangers, so it doesn't have that authenticity. And then everyone knows how to play the game and make a fake storyline. So they just make up like on all of them. I mean, Candy's always opening a new business on Atlanta. They know how to make fake stories. No one gives a fake real story. So that's why it feels forced on all of the shows. But
yeah, does it feel forced to you, Andrew? Okay.
It does. It does. And you know what we should do? They keep drawing inspiration from what they've still gotten. When Orange County first debuted, Andy Cohen has said this time and time again. We got our inspiration from Desperate Housewives. Desperate Housewives premiered in 2003. It's 2020. We need some new inspiration for a show. And I love Desperate Housewives, but this is a new era. And the show should start to reflect that. I care.
I agree. A little less Desperate Housewives, a little bit more like Little Fires Everywhere.
Michael, last question before you go. What do you think about Denise Richards leaving the show?
I think Denise should. I love Denise. Like, Denise is being teamed up on, but it's not fair. Like, whoever said it, her attackers being brought on and pushed on her, that's not fair. She should leave. It's not fair to her. It's honestly not.
Preach, Michael, preach.
Honestly, what needs to happen, they need to get rid of Lisa Rinna or Kyle and what's her name, Dorit. If they're not going to bring a real storyline, kick them off the show, because seeing this one scene with her daughter, and it's nothing. Kyle didn't even have one scene. At least Lisa did 2 or 3 scenes. It's so forced, fake, and contrived on Beverly Hills.
It really is. Thank you for calling in. I really appreciate the call. Bye-bye. You know what? He just brought up something that I just remembered. I just did an article this week on Dorit and the whole house situation. Did you hear about that, Andrew?
Yeah.
Now, they have a billionaire friend buy the house for them, and then they get it transferred over into a LLC. Basically, he lets them live there as long as they want before he resells the property and flips the house for a gain in equity. Dorit's not really rich. Should she still be on the show faking it?
No, it's a case of fake it till you make it. And I'm sorry. For most people, if you've never seen, this is a peek into their lives. And honestly, Mercedes and Teslas, that's not a peek into real wealth, like real wealth lives. I'm sorry. Mercedes.
Okay, that's why you're on the show. You're our rich connoisseur.
No.
Rich people. If you drive a Mercedes, that doesn't mean you're rich.
No. With the wealth people, especially, and the people who I surround myself love it. Have it. We want to see generational wealth. Would like.
What kind of car represents generational wealth?
Not Mercedes, an old Rolls Royce, a car, something like Bentleys. We're talking.
So not a Honda Civic for sure, right?
No.
That's right. Because once you're rich, there's degrees of rich, right?
There's degrees of wealth. And it's truly evident in the show. You've got people who they're trying to become socialites. They're trying to become known socialites. And it's not working. It only has worked for a couple. And I think we all know who those top socialites are.
And I think I know. Let me take on another call. Is it like LVP's gone? So I don't know who's really rich on that show anymore. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Doing good. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Sound off. What did you want to talk about?
I want to take it back to who I will feel will be good new housewives for the show. I feel that Dr. Dre's soon-to-be ex-wife, Nicole Young, would be good.
Ooh, that's excellent.
As well as Kimora Lee. I think that y'all discussed that probably a week ago. I think they too would be really good. You already said you didn't like Kris Jenner, so I won't bring her up.
I love Kris Jenner, but they're thinking about Kimora for New York.
Yeah.
Oh, for New York? Okay. Well, I do believe Nicole Young will be definitely good for the show.
I'm hearing an echo. Was there another question you wanted to ask? Because I'm going to have to drop you. I hear an echo.
No, that is it. I'm going to leave as well as Denise should leave.
Denise should not be forced to talk about what she doesn't want to talk about. That's how I feel about it.
She should not be on the show.
What?
Thank you guys.
I
Have a good
wish you
one.
didn't have an echo. We would go at it, but I can't hear you. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
That's what a way to exit.
Denise, oh my gosh. Hi, Lourdes. How are you?
Hi, Sarah.
Lourdes?
Hi, everyone. Nice to see everyone today. I'm good.
Hi.
Yes.
Sound off.
So, okay, I'm sounding off now. I believe Andy played Denise's hand by having Brandy come back on the show. I think he thought Denise would sit through that next season for this paycheck. Like she would sit through this type of slander, so to say, because I'm calling it slander, what's going on. No?
Yeah.
I believe, with Denise and Garcelle both, these were both working actresses before they got on the show. Okay, so I do believe they have reputations to protect. They want to be able to work after this stint, right? So I don't think they're going to subject themselves through the mud. Like, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Garcelle probably is going to leave, right? She doesn't sure to protect. So I don't know what Andy's doing. He's being messy. I don't know. This formula is not working for me. It's awful.
But wouldn't it be great though? What if Bravo, who knows though? Because like Garcelle said, plot twist. What if Bravo comes to Garcelle and lets her bring in some sort of friend who might be high power in Beverly Hills? Because she knows a lot of people. She's been in the industry for a long time. And if she brings on a friend, that could be fun.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sure. I would hope that would happen, but I don't see it. Maybe. I mean, even when she talked about on the Watch What Happened Live like a month ago, she talked about how the reunion experience, I don't think she enjoyed it. It sounded like she enjoyed it at all. I think she couldn't believe what Renna has turned into.
No, God.
She said it plainly.
No one can believe it.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lourdes, for calling in. I appreciate your call. Bye-bye. Can you hear me?
Bye. Have a good
day. Bye. We were having problems bringing in. Listen, I don't think that under any circumstances, Perry, that Denise should be able to force and talk about something she doesn't want to talk about. I think her leaving the show. Go ahead, Jamal.
I'm going to agree with Perry on this one because what she should have done is come back next season with the receipts. I would have befriended.
What receipts, Jamal?
The text message. I'm going to get to that. She should have befriended Leanne Rimes and Sheena off camera, brought them in, just read everyone to filth, just go in and just spill everything.
Did you say bring Leanne Rimes for Brandy?
Exactly, and also with the text messages. Here's my question. I wonder. It's more of a thought. Like Denise. She's very confident about these text messages. And there's a moment with Kyle when Renna says, "Oh, are you threatening me?" And you remember Kyle says, "No, I think that's a promise." I'm like, "What do you know?" And then secondly, it sounds like Denise has group text messages. So I want to know who's on those group text messages and how far they go back. Because there may be things prior to the show that Lisa may not want out there.
Ooh.
I mean, now I get it, right? And I understand what Sherelle's saying a little bit, like about the slander. These women always talk about each other in spurts. They do. Mm-hmm. But I think when people start talking about you, the fastest way to shut it down is for you to talk about them. If you can, slander can go your direction and slander can come my direction. When they start slandering, I'm going to start slandering too. And like Jamal said, now this is the part about it. If I was taking a beating like Denise was, I don't care what Lisa said. I would have gave you at least a couple paragraphs of the text. You know what I'm saying? I would have gave you something. There's no way I would have walked saying I quit and let you off the hook when I took a beating this whole season.
But okay, she's saying she's not returning, but she could change her mind after Andy shakes her up and says you signed a contract and kind of scares her back into things. Because remember, she quit mid-season and they made her come back.
Mid-season, but But that wasn't shown though because of the cease and desist.
Yeah.
Well, maybe okay. Say like this episode was so boring. They may have to step it up. Maybe they can convince her to come back. But the way you end the finale is next week. Is she need to come and give us some of those damn text messages? What you think, Jamal? Something needs to come out next week just to get the party going for next year.
It has to, because the way they frame this, and no one's backing up. No one's really backing up Denise's claim that she has these text messages. Let me back up. No one's really speaking out against the text messages, because the telling is Lisa said, "Are you threatening me?" Which tells me there's something there. That's the part that has me peaked, because if Denise didn't have anything, you'd be like, "You lying? Pull him up now." But Lisa's like, "Are you threatening me?" Just like in Rome, when Denise is like, "Well, Brandy said she slept with someone in this group." Lisa was the first one to say it wasn't me. I never slept with Brandy, and she was too adamant about that. She's telling on herself, in my opinion.
Hold on, Jamal. I have one more phone call, and I'm going to bring you back up. This is the last phone call, and then we'll close it out. Hi, Devon. How are you?
Hey, Sherelle. How you doing? Hey, Adam. Hey, Rich.
How are you?
What's up?
Okay. I thought last night's episode was very boring. I think Andy. I'm sorry, that's my phone.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, I'm back. I think Andy is the problem, because he rather see all of these women like.
You think Andy Cohen is the problem?
Yeah, because he rather see all of these women gang up on one person, and he's all for like ratings. And I remember he wanted Denise to come on the show for years. Remember that?
Yeah.
And now he's doing all of this. So, and I also believe that Denise was planning on coming back, but since he gave Brandy a platform, then that's when I think she said, "I'm cutting ties with him."
Yeah, I agree. She found out that she was about to be ambushed, and especially the Heather Locklear thing. That's too much for her to bear. I'm glad that she left.
Right. And then I want to also talk about Kyle. I am not liking her this season.
No one likes Kyle any season.
Right. I feel as though she, like she has been in Beverly Hills forever. So I believe that when someone comes into her presence, they need to fit that status quo of like living that Beverly Hills lifestyle to her, as far as like money and like style and stuff. So I think that's the reason why, she came at Denise, by calling her ragamuffin, because she don't fit the criteria of looking like a Beverly Hills like housewife.
Yeah. Oh, well, it was a boring season. We all can agree on this. And who knows what's going to happen next season. I'm still saying that Denise could come back. I'm not totally convinced that she's all the way.
I hope she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping she came back, but
Chris Jenner's not going to sign anything.
Thank you, Devon, for calling in. I appreciate the call.
Oh, I appreciate. Okay, I say one more thing, and I want to drop it. I was watching Bravo's after show, I think early this morning, and I found some interesting things about Dorit. I did not know that her father is from Israeli, and her mother is from
Israel,
Tangier.
not Israeli.
Her mother's from where?
Her mother is from Tangier, like Morocco, and her father's from Israeli, and her grandparents speak fluent Spanish. So that's why she has so many like accents and stuff. So
where did you hear that?
It's on Bravo's website, the after show.
Oh wow, okay.
So,
anyway, thank you for calling in. I appreciate the call.
Okay, sure. Y'all take care.
Bye-bye. Wow, did she really give us an excuse for her accent? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, she said at the end of she said in season 8, I think it was, that either her parents or her grandparents were Holocaust survivors.
Oh wow.
But personally, I agree with what everyone's saying about how Dorit is, trying to sugarcoat the realness in the sense that she's not as rich as people are making her out to be like.
She really is not. Not only that, she's broke.
Anyone can lease out a car. Anyone can lease out a car as long as you've got some disposable income.
Yeah.
But with the replacement, I really don't think Kris Jenner's not going to come on because she won't have power. With Keeping Up, she always had power. She was the executive producer. And Karen's not going to let her be a producer of Real Housewives. Otherwise it would just be dominant her. And as Adam said earlier, when she tried to have her own version of the Ellen Show, or whatever it was, that talk show of hers, it flopped because she made it my family, my family, my family.
Yeah.
And what's also strange with that thing is just, why would she want to take a demotion in the first place? She's already got all these millions.
Yeah. All right, Adam, stay on the line. I'll be back. Jamal, what were your last words?
I think Kyle, when she's talking about Lisa's book, I'm like, well, you need to read that book to keep Marisa at home. That's number one. Do that.
You're
together. Get that together. And then like Teddi, I'm like, why are you trying to have a moment when you're about to get fired? I just need you to just stop talking and just
Teddi.
let it go.
Oh, anyway, Jamal, thank you for calling in. It was a boring show. We all agree upon it. So
Later, Jamal.
See you next time. Thank you for calling in. Bye-bye. Okay, you guys, we are all on the same page. That show was awful.
Yeah.
I hope that the part 3, there's going to be a part 3. This is Bravo's fault. Why did they drag it on 3 episodes?
Because they needed content.
Oh, it's just terrible. Andrew, what were your last words? What did you think of it?
It was a snooze fest, and I'm surprised I didn't fall asleep while watching it. That's my true shock. True shock.
Perry, what were your last words?
I can't lie to you. It was so boring. I did fall asleep.
It was boring.
That's why I woke up mad. I wasted my time waiting for it to come on.
Yeah.
Nothing. And that's why I understand what you're saying about Denise a little bit, but I'm telling you, you only get pushed over if you allow people to. Sometimes
not everyone is raised like that, Perry.
I know, but I want her to learn this.
Oh, okay? Wow.
Learn it by next week finale so she can break up the damn text messages.
Adam, what are your last words?
I thought that episode was as played out as Rich Andrews' blue cashmere sweater. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, I just really thought it was a snooze fest. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I thought it was a snooze fest.
I know it was really bad. As I said, this is just the first news that Denise is going to be fired. Bravo did not officially announce anything. I don't think they're going to let her out of that contract. They're going to keep talking to her until she changes her mind. That's what I think. But, they've got a whole year to battle it out. We'll see what happens. All right, you guys. Thank you, everyone in the chat, including my super chats. I really do appreciate my super chats. You don't have to give, and so I really appreciate it when you do. There was a lot going on outside of the show. That was way more better. What were you going to say, Andrew?
Nothing. No, I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, that's where the real show is. Will Denise return? Will Garcelle leave with her? Will they bring on, I don't know, Kimora Lee Simmons? Not for this one. Who were they talking about? Sheridan, Nicole Sheridan. I don't know. But I will keep you guys updated on everything that goes on outside of the show because that's what I do. So I'll see you guys here same time next week, 2:00 with Rich Andrew, Crazy Perry, and Up and Adam. Okay, with my panel. Okay, you guys, do you want to say on 3? 1, 2, 3, bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.